let's talk about the Trinity. It's gotta be one of the most complex, debated, and honestly confusing ideas in all of theology. It's a real head-scratcher. So many people defend it, but not many can explain it in a way that just clicks. So here it is, the classic creedal definition. This came out of church councils centuries after Jesus. But look closely at the language. Persons, one in essence, or homoousios. These are philosophical terms. These are not words you're going to find Jesus or any of the biblical writers using to describe God. And this is exactly why so many people get stuck. I mean, if the Father is God and the Son is God, but the Father is not the Son, your brain is right to flag a problem. Tradition might say, just file it under mystery, but that feeling of contradiction is a totally valid response. It's a huge hint that maybe the model itself is the problem. What if the source of all that confusion isn't actually the Bible? What if it's centuries of tradition that were added on top? Well, today, we're going to peel back the layers and find out where this idea really came from. You have to look at the timeline. This specific language of essence and persons, well, it wasn't really locked in until the 4th century. That's a few hundred years after Jesus. It was brilliant theologians like the Cappadocian Fathers who used concepts from Greek philosophy to build this framework, mostly to sort out some really intense debates that were happening at the time. And that, right there, leads us to the most important question of all. Is this philosophical language how Jesus, a first-century Jew speaking Hebrew and Aramaic, actually talked about his own relationship with God? Or did he have a different way of explaining it? See, in Greek, if Jesus wanted to say we are one person or one individual, he would have used the masculine form of the word, heis. But he doesn't. He uses the neuter form, hen. And hen means one thing or one reality. It's a unity of being, not an identity of persons. Jesus himself is setting up a relationship here, one of a source and its expression. You know, when Jesus said Father, or even more intimately, the Aramaic word Abba, he wasn't talking about one person on some kind of divine board of directors. He was pointing to the source of everything, the unseen origin, the intention, the will behind it all. He was talking about the starting point. And this verse just nails it. Look at how Jesus constantly points away from himself back to the Father. He's not presenting himself as an independent agent. Instead, he shows that he lives in this total, beautiful dependence on his source. His will, his words, his entire mission, it all comes from the Father. So if the Father is the source, what does Son mean? Well, in Hebrew thinking, being a son is all about representation. A son is the living, breathing likeness of his father. He's the one who carries out his father's will and makes him known to the world. It's about likeness and function, not just biology. Here's one of the most powerful things Jesus ever said. He is the visible expression of the invisible source. You can't see the Father, just like you can't physically see a thought or an intention. But you can see Jesus, the Son, who perfectly embodies and reveals that unseen reality for all of us to see. And finally, we get to the Spirit. The Hebrew word is ruach. This word doesn't mean a third person. It means breath, wind, life force. It's God's active, dynamic presence and power. It's the very energy that brings everything to life. Jesus couldn't be clearer here. The Spirit isn't some abstract idea. It's the actual life-giving flow of God himself. It's the difference between a rock and a living person. It is the animation, the vitality, literally the breath of God. Okay, so we have a source, we have an expression, and we have a life flow. How do we put all this together in a way that actually makes sense? Well, there's a really powerful metaphor, one that's rooted in our very own design that can help us get it. Just think about how you work for a second. First, you have your mind, your consciousness. That's the unseen source of all your thoughts, your will, your intentions. That's like the Father. Second, you have your body. Your body takes those unseen intentions from your mind and makes them visible and active in the world. And third, you've got this life flowing through you, your breath, your blood, that animates your body and connects it all together. And here is the truly incredible part. This isn't just some clever little analogy. The Bible says that we were made in the image of God. So, what if this very pattern, mind, body, and life flow, is the image we were created in? I mean, just look at this parallel. It's stunning. The Father, as the divine mind, is mirrored in our own consciousness. The Son, as the divine body, the perfect expression, is mirrored in our own bodies that carry out our will. And the Spirit, as the divine life flow, is mirrored in the very breath and blood that keep us alive every single second. So here's the bottom line. You are not three separate people living in one body. You are one unified being with three distinct but completely inseparable expressions: your mind, your body, and your life. This is a picture of relational unity. It's a living, breathing, organic whole, not some philosophical puzzle you have to solve. Okay, so this is a really fascinating way to think about God. But so what? Why does it matter for our actual day-to-day lives? What are the real practical implications of seeing God this way?
First, seeing God as source, expression, and life fundamentally changes how you see reality. If God isn't divided within himself, it means creation isn't meant to live divided either. It means everything is designed for wholeness. Second, this understanding shows us what we're truly meant to become. Jesus is the model here, showing us what the source looks like when it's fully expressed in a human life: truthful, present, and just, whole. So our goal is to become integrated, where our inner will, our outward actions, and our very breath are all perfectly aligned. And finally, this completely redefines salvation. It's not about calming an angry God or fixing a broken system. Instead, it's about coming back into alignment with what's real, seeing clearly, living truthfully, and letting that divine life move through you without resistance. So this isn't just abstract theology. It's a practical invitation to be fully and authentically alive.